I really try to reinforce what they already do on stage. I don't want to over-process, I don't want to change the sound, what they create. My name is Tobi Hoff. I'm the front of house engineer with Deep Purple.
I'm Ian Alvarez, I'm the monitor guy for Deep Purple.
Currently on a tour in Europe. Been 2 months, July, August, and now another 2 months, September, October. It's early November, we're almost at the last show of this year. With Deep Purple, we have roughly 32 inputs on stage. It is 13 microphones on the drums, 2 channels for bass guitar, 3 channels for electric guitar, 3 channels for the Leslie, and then there's a 4th channel for the organ, which is a distorted organ channel. And then there's 2 channels for the keyboard. So of all the keyboards of Don Airy, I just get a stereo submix. And then there is vocal mics and spare vocal mics, and that's basically it. So it's very simple actually, the layout of the channels. Those 32 channels, we carry those mics with us, so no matter where we go on the planet, we always have those mics with us. Those microphones are connected, in this case, to 2 Midas DL231, the stage box with 2 separate preamps. So Ian on monitors has a different gain setting than I have for front of house. From the DL231, we run 4 AES50 Cat5 cables to the front of house console. So I have a redundant cabling. And then at front of house I use the HD96 with currently no outboard gear. So I only use the internal effects. I've been using Midas with this band for roughly, I would say 8 or 9 years. So before the HD I was using some outboard effects. But now with the HD I'm very happy with everything that is actually in the console. It makes it very reliable and very easy for me, and I think it just sounds amazing.
Well, I've been a Midas user for a long time. I had my own Pro ones back in time, and I worked a lot with the Pro 9 and Pro X stuff. Now when I came to the HD96, I found at the end what I was searching for on the Pro series, like a lot of years. That is having the chance to adapt the console to me.
Now what is unique here is that the band is very, very loud. Most artists these days, you have in-ear monitoring and it is rather quiet on stage. But here, everything on stage, like all the amplifiers you see on stage, they are actually on and full on. So it is a very, very loud stage. So for me, if we are in a small venue, like a smaller theater, sometimes I just have to add in what is missing of the stage sound. So it's almost like a club PA, although we play like in a 4,000 seat theater. Today we are in a 10,000 seat arena in Oberhausen, so today it's pretty a normal situation. You know, I have the stage volume, but I really can add on top of this with the PA. A lot of venues and a lot of countries these days you have noise restrictions for the auditory health of the audience, so that you cannot go above a certain level, which from my point of view as an audience member, I think it totally makes sense. But then here with the band that is already so loud that we're already like almost hitting the noise limit with just the stage volume, you know, then me being the front of house engineer and trying to still make a good overall sound, it's sometimes a little bit challenging.
I asked Tobi about it, and I remember a phrase he told me. He told me, this is like a rehearsal room, really loud. And I think they like it like that. They give me the chance to change whatever I want to change, and sure, I'm more used to do different stuff, like mixing in-ears or having more wedges even. But my approach was, these guys was doing this for more than 50 years. Do I really think I have something to teach them? And I must say, I don't know for any other band, but for them it definitely works. To have like the same console every day, it's a mess, and a console that you can feel comfortable with, but also the band feel comfortable with.
I really like the Pi plugin. I need that for the vocal mic. That is crucial, that is mandatory. I could not live without that plugin, because the singer, he walks around a lot on stage, and sometimes he's just very close to the drum set, so there's a lot of cymbals on the mic. And with the Pi plugin, it just makes it possible for me. I still have my finger on the fader the whole show of the vocal mic, but still It just makes it more predictable what is happening with the vocal mic. In May this year we had 5 days of rehearsal, which normally never happens. Normally the band never shows up for a sound check, there's never a rehearsal. But this time there's a new guitarist, Simon McBride, joined the band. So we had 5 days of rehearsals in a rehearsal studio. And Ian on monitors and me, we had the brand new Midas HD. So we had those 5 days to really dial everything into the consoles. And to be honest, I was really amazed by the sound. It was just magic happening in those days. Like the band loved playing together again after 2 years of COVID, of nothing happening. And for me, it was just so joyful to be on this new console, and everything that I did just sounded amazing. And now after roughly 40, 45 shows that we've done, I can say that there's quite a few comments from audience members, friends of the band, but also reviews in the news that say that it sounds very good. I mean, I wanted to work with audio actually almost all my life. I think I started very young. I was 12 years old when I had my first tiny mixing console, and it was always my dream to work as a live audio guy, live audio engineer. So I started during high school, and then I went to university. I studied electrical engineering with a focus on acoustics and digital signal processing. I mean, back then there was no real course or class for live audio engineering. Now there is. But I did really the electrical engineering path. While I was doing this, I was constantly working at shows. So I really learned from scratch, basically, doing club shows, being the local audio guy, running cables, running intercoms, and then at some point, basically when I finished university, which was roughly around 2000, I had already been working as a professional audio guy for roughly 8 or 10 years.
I was playing bass. I mean, I was into music my whole life, and I get into the technical area because of a friend back in the early 2000s. And then suddenly one friend of mine told me like, oh, we have a course that just to introduce in professional audio musicians, like, specifically designed for musicians to get into the professional audio that you are already doing. So maybe it's interesting for you. I did that, and since that I didn't stop to learn. It's something that catches me.
Being an audio guy or being a lighting guy or a video technician in the live entertainment industry, no matter if it's concerts or corporate gigs, or it's a lot of work and it's a lot of physical labor. And that is something that is important to understand. And for me, it's part of the job. Like, I'm actually coiling cables and snakes every night myself here because I enjoy it. I love traveling. I love being in different countries. I love working with different people. It's just an amazing experience. It just shows me that every country we go to, people just want to have a good show and make a good outcome out of it. The second thing is the people that I work with. I think in this business, the personalities are just way different than in a normal office environment. I mean, the crew here with Deep Purple, it's very international. Another thing is, yes, I mean, I love music. I would not personally say that I love going to concerts because for me it's always like this work feeling. You know, the moment I buy, sometimes I actually buy a ticket and I go to a concert, but I really have to switch off my brain, like, hey, I'm here now to watch this concert and to enjoy, because I'm always like, why does it sound like this? But I love music.